So in my last video, I talked about why I'm all in on the L-mount Alliance for my full frame camera needs. But I don't want anyone to think I'm becoming a fanboy or I'm selling out to Leica or Panasonic or Lumix or Blackmagic or who else is there, Sigma, I just think that for me, for my needs, the L-mount Alliance is providing the best solution right now. I think it's going to be a really exciting year for Panasonic and Lumix. I do believe the S1R Mark II and S1H Mark II are going to come out, and I think they're going to be freaking rad. But, like what would make me change? What would make me jump off of the Almont Alliance? I'm going to break this down brand by brand, the brands that would sort of move me off of this and how they would do it. First, Canon. If Canon comes out with an AE1, and it's the 50th anniversary of the AE1 this year, if I'm not mistaken, and it is sick. We're talking, Olympus OM system level build quality, getting near Leica, full metal construction, aluminum, and it's the size of a film camera, but has all the features of like an R5 II, joystick, sensor protector, good EVF, maybe a flip up screen instead of a flip out screen or a Sony A7R5 screen. If they make that camera that rad, I would switch over to Canon because then I would have the R5 II as your workhorse camera. I would go out and buy a C80 for video for sure, and I would have the full sort of set of my needs, the 3 points: everyday carry, workhorse full frame, and higher end video camera, prosumer. I don't do that much video, but I'm trying to get into it. Camera. Also, Canon glass is really good. It's not Leica quality, of course, but it's good enough, I think, for my needs. And again, I do shoot medium format a lot more for a lot of photography applications. So that's kind of where I'm really concentrating on high-end glass right now. So I think the Canon glass would be good enough. Maybe adapt a Leica lens here or there, Nikon. If Nikon were to come out with a ZF2 that kind of like the AE1 I just talked about, fixes my issues with the ZF, which is a fun retro camera, but it needs a better EVF. It needs a joystick. I would love it to have a flip out screen. I would love it to have a sensor protector. It needs to be smaller and lighter. If they do that, maybe put in like the Z3 sensor, like a 61 megapixel sensor, or even that stacked 45 megapixel sensor, then I would look at Nikon again. I think I could get away with the Z8 as the video camera and the workhorse camera, so that's pretty cool. It wouldn't surprise me if they come out with like an FX3 Nikon Red thing, and that would be cool too. But really, it's just that like the ZF didn't work for me as an everyday carry camera. It was just too big and heavy and didn't quite have the features I wanted. But if they come out with a new version that sort of fixes those issues, I would look at Nikon again. Sony. Yeah, I'm not sure about Sony. There's just something about Sony cameras I personally don't like. um, but if they came out with an RX1R Mark III that was basically exactly the same thing as their RX1R Mark II, but with a slightly higher resolution viewfinder and a joystick, maybe a faster scanning sensor, like otherwise the sensor that's in that camera is perfect. The improved menus, the improved color science that they've been using in their latest cameras, like I would buy that regardless. Even if I don't switch to Sony, that camera I would buy. I would use that as my everyday carry. And if it's good enough, that would make me switch to Sony, for my other needs. The A7R5 would work fine for a workhorse camera. They've already got the FX3. I think they're probably going to release an FX3 Mark II, in short order here. So like that is covered. Everyday carry, workhorse, video camera. But that RX1R Mark III would have to be really good. Yeah, so I think that's it. I don't really see myself switching to Fuji. They don't have a full frame system. I don't see myself switching to OM system. The OM3 was a cool release. It looks really good, but they didn't put a good enough EVF. They didn't put a joystick on it. So like to go to Micro Four Thirds, it's just not going to happen. They did not knock it out of the park, in my opinion, for my needs in the OM3. Who else? Pentax. Oh, Pentax. Like, if they come out with a K1 Mark III, I'll try it, but that's not going to solve all my problems, right? Hasselblad Phase 1, they don't have enough cameras to cover all my needs. They don't really do video. Leica, like I said in my previous video, I kind of lump Leica and Panasonic together in this category. I'm not so nuts about the M cameras that I'm just going to try using those. Like, that's just a fun camera for me. It's great that some people can use it professionally, but like it's not reliable enough for a lot of the stuff I do. And it doesn't really work for product or commercial photography. So, it's really just a fun camera. So, I'm lumping Leica in with Panasonic Lumix, I think. I don't see myself going full fanboy and switching to Leica for everything. That's just not in the cards for me. even if Leica comes out with a medium format camera system. But who knows? Like if it's a fast shooting medium format camera system, that might change everything. I might have to go full Leica just because I could do everything on their medium format, and then I don't need the full frame stuff except for maybe an everyday carry. So that kind of changes things too. Like if Leica comes out with a monster, relatively fast shooting medium format system that can do video reasonably well, then maybe, if the Sony comes out with the RX1R Mark III, that's my everyday carry, and then Leica for everything else. I'm kind of using the Q3 as my everyday carry now, so maybe it is just the Q3 in the medium format system. That maybe is the one way that Leica becomes my only camera system, which would be cool, but freaking expensive. So I don't know. Just kind of thought this was a good follow up to my all in on L mount video. I thought you all would find it interesting. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have I missed anything? Is my reasoning flawed? Do I need to just stop switching systems and like kind of just focus on the L mount stuff? Your reviews would probably indicate that most people aren't that interested in L mount Alliance cameras except for Leica. Like I get way more views if I do a Nikon or a Canon video or a Leica video or a Hasselblad video. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm not really making decisions based on views. I just think that's interesting. But yeah, so look forward to hearing your comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.